shout out and a thank you to my sponsor, P2 Collectibles, located at 204 East McGalliard Road in Muncie and on eBay as well. So next time you're here in Muncie, let us know. Come give us a visit. Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Alex from Plus3 TCG, and I'm coming at y'all with a deck profile today, a budget version of the Wave of Light structure deck. All we're going to be doing is combining 3 separate structure decks. Total of around $30 for this. If you have no cards, you're just getting into the game, you can look at this video as a template for the combination of the 3 structure decks, and then if you have extra hand traps, extra cards, you can kind of go from there. If you have strikes, whatnot, you can place those in the deck instead. But for now, we are just acting as if we only have 3 structure decks, and we're just combining these 3 to see what we can make up. And with a little bit of testing that I've done, this seems to be the most consistent build. So we're rocking just one Sacred Arc Knight or Sacred Arc Air Knight Parshoth. This card, it seems to be bricking a lot. You don't want to be drawing multiples. You'd rather be summoning this from deck or from grave. And then we're only playing the one Air Knight Parshoth for the last of the Parshoths. I don't think the other one is very good because the summoning requirement is kind of rough. You have to tribute one of the other Parshoths to summon it, and that means you have to play either multiples of this or these along with that, so that you can like summon this Parshoth first to like almost level up into that one, so then eventually you can summon this one. It just seems a little more effective to have these so that you can summon this, do a little damage, get some draw, try to get a little consistency going, and then try to get this one out. Eventually, let me like turn 2 or something like that. Turn 1 just doesn't seem like super effective to be trying to get this out. Then we're playing 3 of the new card, the Power Angel Valkyria. If you negate the activation of a spell, so pretty much you just negate anything. You add a light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. This isn't a terrible thing to be starting off with. There aren't really any true starter cards in this in this deck, and that's probably the most frustrating part about this. Is it's like the Dino deck. The Dino structure deck was the peak of structure decks for Yu-Gi-Oh, because that you can play 3 of those and do a pretty good job. But 3 of these is a little bit rougher to play with because there aren't necessarily starter cards to go with. At least, like, I guess Hecatrice is technically a starter card because it gets you a card, but that doesn't always like do the most for you. And Hecatrice can be kind of bricky. Anyways, I digress. So this is like your ideal card to open with, almost, because you still need a trap. Then we're playing 3 Ariadne. This is also pretty decent to open with because you can just set this, or normal if you're feeling cocky, and wait till it gets destroyed so you can add traps. But in scale, it's pretty good because for the most part, all of your traps that you're playing, your pitching cards are paying life points, and for the most part, most of those you can mitigate on paying the cost with this card in scale. That's why we're playing 3 of them. And then we are playing 2 Minerva, Scholar of the Sky. This is pretty cool because you get to recycle your traps. Bountiful Artemis. This is great because it just gets free draws. And then 1 Meltiel, the Sage, or Meltiel Sage of the Sky. This is pretty much just for your spot removal. We're only playing 1 of these because you don't want to draw it. You'd rather, I guess you can draw it, but you'd rather Ties of the Brethren into this. And then we're playing one of the new cards, Eva. Not that good, but cool for the extension, because if it's in the grave, you can banish up to 2. Well, it has to be sent to the grave, and that you can banish 2 other light fairy monsters from your field or graveyard, and then you can add the same number of level 2 or lower light fairy monsters with different names from the deck to your hand. So you're pretty much just trying to add the hand traps, the herald stuff. Then I'm playing 1 Arc Lord Christia because it's not difficult to summon because you can like grave manipulate a little bit with Eva, but it's searchable, so that helps a lot, so you can summon it at the proper time if you search early in the game. 2 Honest, pretty great. You can summon it with Ties of the Brethren, so that's pretty good. And then 3 more hand traps. So we're playing the Herald of the Orange Light, Green Light, and Purple Light, all just to have like options, I guess. I'm not sure which is the better lineup. I would like to think that you should be more worried about their traps and stuff, because like everything that you have negates. Well, I guess it's really up to you to decide, because for the most part, all your counter traps negate everything. It negates monster effects, spells, and trap effects. So that's what these do. That's why I put one of each, just so I could pick my poison whenever I wanted to, I guess. On to the spells. 3 Ties of the Brethren. This card is probably the best card in the deck, because this gets you extended pretty well. Anytime you open up a level 4 Light Fairy, you can just target it with Ties of the Brethren, and then special summon 2 more, the ones that you need. And the new card, 3, the Sanctum of Parshoth. I've actually found this to be kind of bricky, but it's really good because the fact that if you open it with any traps, those traps can't be targeted. They have to get rid of this first, or they can't be destroyed. And they can't be targeted or destroyed by anything. So while this is face up, so that really protects your main engine of the deck, which is your trap cards. You're trying to lower your opponent's ceiling to the point where they can't really play the game, and you just sink in with little bits of damage. I'm playing 2, the Sanctuary in the Sky. This is still relevant because of the battle damage thing, and because all of your effects get boost when this card is on the field, and someone can't even activate unless you have this. So that's why we're trying to play 5 copies of it, so that we have a really good chance of opening it turn 1. Even though like they can be bricky at times, you just need this card for a lot of your stuff to be happening. And then Valhalla, playing 2 of these. I wanted to play a Hecatrice, but I really didn't like the idea. Like, I wanted to play 1 Hecatrice and 1 Valhalla, but I didn't really like the idea of drawing into a Valhalla and then having a Hecatrice in deck, which is pretty crappy. And vice versa is alright. That was the ideal situation. And I guess, like as far as variability is concerned, this drawing one or the other wouldn't happen very often, but you would want to draw the Hecatrice more often. And I just don't think it warrants playing a Hecatrice. You might as well just play the 2. And on to the traps. 3 Rebirth of Parshoth. Also, not bricky, but like it's not the greatest card to open with, because its cost is a lot just to be able to summon the Parshoth monster, which is pretty good because you can summon the boss monster of the deck. But I don't know, having to discard a card and pay 1,000 life points and have a counter trap in hand that you could have set as a resource to be used, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like as ideal. Still an amazing card, absolutely amazing card, because if you have Ariadne, you don't have to do anything except reveal a counter trap card. At least if I'm understanding how that card works, because you don't discard or pay life points. So in this case, all you do is reveal. Great card, just you have to have Ariadne on the field for it to be really relevant. 3 Divine Punishment, because I mean, like I was saying, you're trying to open up 5 different, you're playing 5 the Sanctuary in the Sky so that you can open up 1, and you can hopefully open up this as well, because this is that's free, which is great. 3 Ultimate Providence, because also free if you have Ariadne on the field, and it negates everything except summons. And the only thing that negates summons is Solemn Warning, which less than ideal, but if you are playing the not budget version of this, you can replace Ultimate Providences with Solemn Strikes, which is great. It's nuts. But yeah, that is the deck profile. That's a 40 card version of this. It's not like it's nothing crazy. You're not gonna probably take this to a tournament and do insane. You might do a little something to locals. But all in all, the deck is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to testing around with it with a little more consistency cards, and I will keep you updated on this deck if you would like me to. Probably going to be doing an updated version of this in the near future with better cards, like I was saying. Let me know what you think about this deck profile in the comment section below, y'all. Let me know if I could have added some of the structure deck cards. You think I'm missing any? Let me know about my choices down in the comment section below, like I said. And this is Alex from Plus3 TCG, signing out, y'all.